haven't heard this. Is this true?
Yeah, it's absolutely true. Well, I read it in a paper twice.
Okay, I'm gonna Google that.
Google it, yeah, and let me know if it's true, because I will edit that out of this.
I'll let you know if it's true, 'cause if it's not true, it shouldn't go in the video.
No, it really should not. You also earn money, or you also make a living from being a fight teacher and a fight director, and that's actually how I first heard of you. Yeah, no, it is. That's how I first heard of you. A friend who's somebody else I know who does a lot of fight directing and things like that. So, did you learn to fight direct out, or did you learn how to be a fighter at drama school?
No, I didn't. No, they did at drama school. They did a stage combat course. Yeah, they did it in the Easter, and they had a intensive 2-week come and learn 2 weeks through the Easter holiday to learn to fight and fence.
So it's straight into weapons. No.
Oh no! It was the BAD. It was the BADC. So it was the BADC at that time.
So that's the British Academy of Dramatic Combat,
who I'm a teacher for. It was their level 1, so their basic, which is unarmed into rapier and dagger into single sword into unarmed. So it was the 3 weapon systems. Anyway, they were doing that. And I thought about doing it, and then went, no, I want to go home and go surfing, because it was the only time I could get back to Cornwall to surfing, so I just didn't do it.
Right.
Everyone else went and did it, and I went home.
It surprises me.
Why's that?
It surprises me, just because I know how you really love technical swordplay.
Yeah.
And you really, you really live it. And I've worked with you.
This was totally before that, though. I had no idea, and I was kind of like, stage combat, I want to go surf. So I just went home and went surfing. And then when I graduated drama school, my very first job had a big old fight scene in it, and I was rubbish.
Ah, okay.
I was doing a tour of Romeo and Juliet around Germany, and there was a big old fight, several big old fights in there, and I didn't know anything about it, and all the others had trained in stage combat, and I didn't.
But so you could surf rings around them.
Oh, I could surf, yeah. I mean, if surfing was the thing, that would be fine, but it wasn't. It was I needed to fight, and I couldn't. So I came back off that tour and was determined to go and find and learn stage combat. So I went and did a quick course in it, and suddenly found I was actually really good once I put a tiny bit of time into learning about it. Did my basic, then did immediately straight after went to my advanced, and then got asked if I wanted to go and do an apprenticeship to become a teacher, and went straight through that.
So it seemed like it was a very quick progression, sort of.
I say very quick. It took me a long time to do my exam, because I was working solidly as an actor at the time as well. So I did, which was tough. So I did an apprenticeship for 5 or 6 years with a fight director, and quite a lot of fight directors and fight teachers, and went around and studied with everyone and studied all the kind of weapon systems I could, and I did martial arts, and I studied Japanese swordplay, and then basically just like a sponge, tried to learn as much as I could from anybody that I could that would have me and let me assist them. So I went and did that, and very quickly went through that whole thing, and that. So yeah.
Expensive. It's expensive to do a fight course.
The fight courses aren't cheap, but they're not. Well, no, they're not that expensive, to be honest. Not for the skill they give you.
Okay.
They're worth it.
And there are lots of. They're not unions, but they are examining boards for stage fighters. There's the BADC, there's the APC. Why are there so many different examining boards? Why aren't they just encompassed under one? Just for anyone at home who might be like, what's the difference? Why would I do that one and not that one?
So you've got they all used to be one big group, and essentially they're all as good as each other. Right.
Okay.
I'm a BADC teacher. A lot of my friends are APC teachers. A lot of my other friends are BASSC teachers. Yeah. And some of them are all of them. Some of them are right across the board. So it's a system, and there's very tiny little nuanced differences in the teaching practice and in
technique as well.
Yeah. So small things that some will favour some techniques, some will favour some other ways of working. Essentially, if you learn with any of them, you are going to learn you're going to learn well. You're going to be taught well, and you're going to learn a very good skill. I'm going to say the BADC because that's my academy.
Yeah.
But having said that, they're all as good as each other, and they all
They have
actually.
more members of the ADC, don't they?
Oh,
The
you know
ADC,
what?
I
I've
would
got no idea. I've got no idea.
I think somebody told me a long time ago. I think it was an APC teacher said to me a while ago.
They used to. I mean, they all were born out of the Society of British Fight Directors. I think that was what the first name was. And then just splinter groups have gone off at different points in time, but they all came from the same place, and they're all basically trying to do the same thing, which is train actors to fight well, safely and tell the story, and actually serve the play. Yeah. And to be honest, there's more good fighters now than there ever has been.
And safer fighters as well.
The important thing is staying safe. It's just absolutely being safe, which is why there should be a fight director on every single thing if there's a fight. I've seen and heard some horror stories.
Me too. There was a school in New Zealand that did a production of Sweeney Todd, and they used an actual razor and just put some gaffer tape over it to some silver gaffer tape. And
I haven't heard this. Is this true?
Yeah, it's absolutely true. Well, I read it in a paper twice.
Okay, I'm gonna Google that.
Google it, and let me know if it's true, because I will edit that out of this.
I'll let you know if it's true, 'cause if it's not true, it shouldn't go in the video.
No, it really should not. So and I think fighting for the sake of fighting is quite boring, and I think that is the purpose of having a fight director. And I think more a fight director now tends to work with a creative team in terms of, like you said, telling a story, as opposed to.
There's nothing more boring than choreography for the sake of choreography.
No. It's like vocal acrobat. You can be a wonderful singer, but if you're just doing vocal acrobatics,
exactly. And you can make it as flowery and dramatic and everything as one. And unless you're telling me a story, unless you're giving me a reason to be invested in it, I do not care.
No, because there's no stakes.
You can do as many backflips as you like. You can do as many spins as you like. Do as many of these amazing moves. If I don't care about it, it's rubbish. I'd rather see two people have a genuine beef with each other and just one simple slap executed well than a million backflips or whatever it is. It's about the drama. It's about telling a story. And the moment you lose that, you are not. Well, you're failing basically in your
because you're not suspending that disbelief, are you, for the audience, because they're not buying into the illusion of what you're creating.
No, exactly. And if they want to go and watch acrobatics, they'll go and watch Cirque du Soleil. They won't come to the theatre to watch a play.
Yeah, watch the British Olympic team or something like that.
Yeah, watch people who are really good at it. Go watch some gymnasts. Don't come watch some actors come and try and pretend to do this stuff.